Yeah. You did. I can say I did have my time where I spent some money on jewelries and shoes and going out. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it's nothing that lasts forever. It wasn't bringing in any like joy per se, any long term joy. It was just like
Mhm.
highlight and that's
One
it.
of my favorite books to read is The Richest Man in Babylon.
You only can party for that long, you.
And you use the money that you already had to build more. What's going on, everybody? It's Satasha Watkins, your favorite realtor, and we're back again. This time, as always, you know I like to bring you guys different things. I just came back home from Antigua and I met this gentleman who is doing Airbnb in the islands, And I want you guys to always think outside of the box. We live in our little bubble, our little universe, our little world. We want to make sure that you understand that there's other opportunities outside than in these 50 states. So I want to kindly introduce you guys to Shaquille. What's going on, brother? How's everything going?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Can't complain. Woke up
Yeah, yeah.
feeling blessed, highly favored. Can't complain. It's a real moment,
Like
but
I
I'm glad to
always
be
say,
here.
yes, sir.
Yeah,
Like I always
so
like to
much.
say, you can't complain, you just choose not to, and that shows your
Nah,
character,
nah,
brother.
nah, nah. That's it, man. That's it, man. We're just blessed.
Good, 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 good. So, like I was saying in the introduction, like I like to introduce people to different things in terms of different opportunities to invest and grow their business and everything like that. And when I came home, funny thing, we was just shooting the fat on the beach, and I think I was mentioning that I was interested in the opportunities back home to do an Airbnb, and the universe usually just puts people in your vicinities that are able to um, able to add to your life. And we're in the beach, we're talking trash and everything like that. We're in the water, and you just so happen to be an Airbnb host in Antigua, which was amazing. Can you tell the people a little bit about yourself? Like, just let us know a little bit about you, brother.
Yeah. The name is Shaquille, the one and only.
Yes, sir.
I'm a native of the beautiful island of Antigua and
Mm-hmm.
Barbuda. I have 7 years of experience working in the hotel industry.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I worked as a bellman, a front desk agent, a night auditor, and for my final 2 years, I worked as a butler.
Oh,
Trained
wow.
by the game of professional butlers, and it was a good time. It was a good time, but then I just felt like my time was up working in the hotel industry and just wanted to do
Mhm.
something, and something just happened out to be an Airbnb.
Nice, nice, nice. So,
Yeah, man.
what kind of motivated you into that transition? Like, what was that? What was that light bulb that said, like, this is the thing that I have to do? Like, what led you to the Airbnb out of everything
Oh,
else?
it was just like, oh man, it was just like I thought, like so much was going on. Like I
Hmm.
didn't know really, not until I was like speaking to some past associates, and we just having like conversation. I was thinking of like long term rental and stuff, and I'm just like, nah, I don't really want anybody living in, cause it's a beautiful
Hmm.
space and stuff. I prefer you just come and just go, and it's not until I take a trip to New York to visit my
Mm.
aunt for the first time, and like not knowing what she was doing, and to meet her, and then she explained that she's an Airbnb host and she's a super host. I was just
Oh.
like, nah, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. This is it. This is it. I have to do this.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
everything online, I'm just like, head back home and just full focus, full 100
Uh-huh,
Airbnb.
uh-huh. Nice, nice. And what was that process like? Like we know what that process is like in New York, in the States and everything like that. Is there anything that's slightly different in the process of doing in the islands? Like anything that people should be looking out for if they want to follow in your footsteps?
I mean, the process here is like pretty straightforward. I mean, once you have the property at first, once you have the property and you want to do
Mm-hmm.
something, yeah, the process of getting it done is like pretty straightforward. You get your business name registered with intellectual properties. Then from there, you take it over to the inland revenue to get your, I think, like a code, a tax number or
Mm-hmm.
something, to fully complete your Airbnb setup. And from that is done and everything is organized. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It's pretty straightforward. It's nothing too hard as a local to set up, but it's just to have the
Okay.
property. Like once you you have the property, everything else come easily to set up.
And it was an interesting story that you was telling me about how you came by of getting your property. Can you tell the people a little bit about that, and just how fortunate? How do you have to have you have to? I think you have to have a vision, and these things
Yeah,
are there for you. You just have to see it. Can you tell us a little
you just
about
have to
how you
see
got
it.
started?
Yeah, it's just like it's pretty interesting. I was just like living with a friend at the time at the back of the home. I was
Hmm.
living with a friend for a time. So and then as times passed by, they were like, I think I should do something bigger. Build a house somewhere. And I was like, that's true. I want to get a land somewhere to then build. But then I was thinking that might be too much. And it just so happened that I moved back in with my father because it's like two homes, one at the front and I was
Hmm.
living at the back. So I moved back into the main home with my father and just like, Dad, I think I want to build a house at the back of the yard. And he was just
Hmm.
like, sure, why not? I was like, oh, it's so simple. So
Yeah.
from there, I just went ahead. I just went ahead. I just like, let me just start. So I just start and do the foundation. And then when he saw the foundation was up, he was just like, oh, he's serious. And
Yeah.
then we just take it from there. We just take it from there. I spent 3 years building it. I can
Okay.
remember like, working like audit shifts and stuff like so the audit shift is like overnight so
Uh-huh.
you
So
start from I think
you were still doing the hospitality business while you were taking care of this, right?
yeah yeah
Okay.
yeah 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 I was still doing it so usually after my audit shifts from 10:30 p.m. to 7:30 a.m. right after it's me my dad and the neighbor the carpenter
Mm.
and we just grind we just push through and 3 years on it's a beautiful home can't complain.
I think there's something that we got to take from that, and I want people to realize that you saw an opportunity, and then you we talk a little bit about nepotism. I don't know if you're kind of familiar with well, everybody loves basketball with LeBron James and his son, right? Him
Yeah, yeah,
getting
of
into
course.
the him getting into the NBA, and people are complaining a little
Yeah,
bit about nepotism and whatnot. But it's not it's what we're supposed to do in my
of
ideas. Like
course.
if you have keys to the castle, you're supposed to open it for your kids, And what I loved about the story is that your dad had a place that wasn't being used. You had a vision, and it was just one, two, three. Let's make it happen. And then when he saw that you were he was serious about it, he not only gave you the keys, like he helped you and pushed you along the way. I thought that was so beautiful. In terms of construction, we you talked about it was you, your dad, and the neighbor who was a carpenter. You know, did we import? How did we get the materials? Did we import them onto the island? How was that process? Did we get them from abroad, or how did that work?
Well, we do well. We have a couple companies here. We have a
Hmm.
few companies here, like Antigua Plumbing Hardware.
Hmm.
That's the main one that I got all my materials from. So the materials are here on island, so it's like pretty accessible, pretty accessible.
Okay. No worries. And then in terms of pricing, you said it took you 3 years. Did it take you 3 years to gather all the materials and everything like that, and you just took your time with it, and then you were working? So I'm guessing that you took a percentage of your salary and put it towards that, correct?
Yeah, 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 yeah. My salary is like all of it. It was just like pouring in, just pouring in, just pouring in, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
man, it's pretty,
And I
pretty,
think
pretty
that goes to
straightforward.
I think that goes to show with the younger audience as well. Like, wealth, when you developing wealth and you're developing habits and everything like that. I've One of my favorite books to read is The Richest Man in Babylon, and it talks
Mm,
about for every $10 you have to take $1 and use it towards your workforce. And I think that's what something that you did really, really well. You put aside certain money because you had a vision, and you used the money that you already had to build more. Instead of spending it on whatever it is, cars, jewelry, whatever it is. You spent it on an asset that's now bringing you money, and giving you a little bit of freedom as well. Is what I'm saying correct?
Yeah, 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 you did. I can say I did have my time where I spent some money on jewelries and shoes and going out. So I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie, I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, but after that, you only can party for that long, you know.
Uh-huh.
It's nothing that lasts forever. It wasn't bringing in any like joy per se, any long term joy. It was just like
Uh-huh.
highlight and that's it, you know.
Okay.
So it was then the conscious thought of just there's something great. I have more potential to fulfill. So you know, so it
Yeah.
was everything just consciously and just set up so mysterious for me.
Hmm.
Yeah, man, to get it.
Yeah. What do you think added to that mind switch? Like what was one of those catalysts that added to it?
Man, it's that mindset is just like I can honestly say
Hmm.
the first time I traveled to Barbados, I was like, wow, just seeing it and just understanding from their perspective and just seeing the how high you can reach in like building your goals. Yeah, I'm just like, nah. When I come back home to Antigua, yeah, it's gonna be a difference. So I can honestly say from my first trip, first ever flight to Barbados, yeah, that was it. That was the game changer.
Nice, nice, totally understandable. You know, and it's funny. Like we look at when we expand our bubble, when we come outside of our bubble, that we see a lot more opportunities. And I
Yeah.
think that for us, whatever bubble that you're living in, you know, it's when you go outside of it, like you go. I came back home. I'm living in New York. You know, I see opportunities, but I think I see more visions on the island because I'm not inside of that bubble as well. So
You see,
like
right? Yeah.
wherever you at, you know, wherever you at,
When you
you
come back, yeah, I can have something over there. I can have something over. I can have, yeah, yeah.
yeah, 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 definitely, definitely. No worries. But I know with prosperity and good times and everything, there comes challenges. What are some of the challenges that you face kind of like running this Airbnb and having tourists comes in and everything like that? What are some of the challenges?
Oh, some of the challenges. Well, so far I can honestly say the lack of booking. Yeah, the lack of booking is like the main thing. It's
Uh-huh.
not just like a financial thing, but it's like also like a moral boost. So that's like the main challenge that I have, and also I guess like a few things like my location is not the best of the best location. It's not the whole tourism. No,
Hmm.
you're in a local village of Hatton. It's
Hmm.
pretty nice. We do have our former prime minister living here, so it's not a too bad of an area. But other
Hmm.
than that, yeah, it's nothing major as yet. It's pretty calm right now.
Definitely,
Something I can
definitely.
work around.
Is that coming from you being a new Airbnb host, or you think is it coming from Antigua now becoming more of a tourist spot, so like more people are starting to discover the island? What do you think is the contributing factor?
Well, it's conscious about, but I want to say because I just started off. I just started off. That's why.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, but so far so good. So far so good.
Yeah, if you could give any advice to people out there that's just starting off, anything that you did wrong that that you would suggest that other people do, what would some of those advice be?
Um, wow. Man, it's just your expectations. You know, just take your time and build, take your time and build. Because I had it like when I first started, I'm gonna get these bookings. You know that excitement, but nah, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. It's you take your time. You take your time. You take your time. You have to crawl before you walk. You know, just have a lot of
Definitely.
patience, and yeah, it will definitely come. It will definitely come, and just be the best. Be the best host that you can be for your guests, and trust me, it will
Hmm.
come. It will come.
Definitely. No worries. Yeah. And like it's my home and I'm biased, But I think Antigua is one of the most beautiful islands in the Caribbean. I think it's one of the most beautiful islands in the world. And we have some of the
Mhm.
most spectacular beaches. I could barely keep my daughter out of the water when I came back home. Like,
Uh-huh.
what are some of the experiences in Antigua that everybody should do when they come there?
I mean, there's so much. There is so much. Antigua, oh my gosh. Like for a small island, 108 square miles, like there's so much to do on island. If you want to do some windsurfing, you can. If you want to go snorkeling around the island, you can, because there's like so much spots, so many destinations. The food, the culture, like we're so diverse here, for a small island, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah,
You just say what you want and it can happen.
definitely. Like we went swimming with the stingrays.
Yeah, seriously.
My daughter, she was a little skittish at first,
Nah,
and she's like,
I
"Look,
can relate to your dogs. I can relate to your dogs. Like, nah,
yo," she's
get
like,
away,
I'm
man.
heavily melanated, and heavily
Yeah,
melanated
heavily,
people do not do
heavily.
things like this. But like
Nah,
we
like,
had such a great time doing that though. Like, and then
that's
I
good.
think one of the biggest things that I slept on is some of the food. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the national dishes and everything like that that people should try when they get
Oh
there?
man, yeah, of course. The fungi and the saltfish. That's pretty to go to, and also the dukin and the saltfish. The dukin, oh
Yes,
my
sir.
gosh, just depends on who does your dukin, because if they do it with raisins, nah, definitely not. That's not a dukin. That's that's a dukin cousin. But the
Oh,
dukin
so
and the saltfish, the chop up.
you anti currents in the Dukana?
Yeah,
Oh man.
I'm anti. No
Yo,
lies, no lies, no lies.
I don't know. I sway both ways, whether it's with or without the raisins. I sway both ways, and you can't forget the pepper pot. You got to tell everybody
Oh
about the
yeah,
pepper pot.
your pepper pot with pork. Well, I'm not a pork
Yes.
eater, but for the pork lovers, yeah, they can
Yeah.
definitely enjoy. They can definitely enjoy. It's like one of the best. That's one of the best, man.
Definitely. No worries. Yeah. And then like, we're known for our beaches, and there's just so many beaches for people to enjoy. What are some of your favorite spots? Some of the spots that the locals go to, and it's beautiful that the tourists don't know about.
Wow, man. Oh, I mean, the tourist knows a lot about, because they do their research before they come, so they know the
Mm-hmm.
spots. They know the spots, like places, tourist spots like Dickinson Bay and so on. It's a pretty good beach, but ah, for me, I like the western and southern side of the island. So beaches
Okay.
like the Deep Bay, that's pretty nice. That's a pretty nice. That's where you stayed. The beach there
Yeah.
where you
Yep. Yep.
stayed, that's a pretty nice beach right there. And there's this Loki beach just around the corner from where you stayed. This called Galley Bay. That's like the hidden gem. It's like a small little piece of, oh my gosh, of heaven, just so
You want?
secluded. It's like the
Yeah.
spot to
Yeah.
be. So the
Funny
Galley Bay, there's a hidden
story.
gem.
That beach, my God bless his soul, my grandfather, and because I grew up on the island till I was 10. Every single
Yeah.
Sunday, he used to go out there, and he used to float out there for hours. It was just so peaceful and tranquil. Yeah,
Yes.
I gotta
Oh,
give you
just
that one.
it's one of my favorite beaches. It's one of my favorite beaches. To be honest, I like
Definitely,
it there. Pretty
no worry.
nice.
And then like if we talk about nightlife and things to do in the evening, can you tell us a little bit about that as well?
Man, there's a lot. There's always a bar open. There's always a bar open, especially down in
Mm-hmm.
the English Harbor area. That's like the tourist hotspot. Yeah, down there's pretty
Yeah.
nice. There's a lot of places that you can go down there to have a good night time. Definitely.
Yeah. And we can't forget Shirley Heights.
No, Shirley's Ice on a Sunday, Mountain. Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
it's pretty nice place. Yeah, man, it's pretty cool down there. Well, up there,
yeah,
you get to see the whole view of the English Harbor and stuff with that sunset and everything. Oh my gosh, yeah, it's pretty nice,
yeah.
especially with probably about just two glasses of drink. Yeah, the sunset comes out pretty nice.
Nice. No
Yeah,
worries.
man.
Any other tourist things that people should do when they come out there as well, or like for you yourself when you have guests and it's their first time to the island. What do you suggest for them to do? Like, what is a typical week or a couple of days that you spend in the island? What does that look like for your guests?
All right, for me, so I have this additional service that I do for my guests where you let me, well, we both plan out your week on a day-to-day basis. So there's like so much to do. So we can like go snorkeling, we can book a circumnavigation to go around the island for one day. You can the Stingray City, you can visit the Stingray City, have a day there. If you want to do like windsurfing and stuff, we can go over on the eastern side. Yeah, there's a lot. We can sit down, plan out your trip, and yeah, man, whatever you want to do, and it can be done. I get it done for you.
Awesome, awesome. And is that
Yeah, man.
something that you guys talk about ahead of time? Can they kind of like pre-book and you take care of that for them, or is it something that you just suggest and they'll have to plan that out
Yeah,
for themselves?
there's
How does that work?
something pre-planned. There's something pre-planned. Yes, you
Okay.
just let me know what you want to do in advance, so you don't have to worry about it. You just let me know. You just say, hey, this, and I get it done. And on the day of
Awesome.
your arrival, I pick you up from the airport and take you down to the base, and your vacation start from there. So you wouldn't have to really worry about anything because you know what you wanted. It's there. I have the weekly planner presented to you, so you can just see on a day-to-day basis. And if you want to make any
Mhm.
changes in advance, you just let me know, and yeah, it gets done.
No
You
worries.
just come and just experience. That's it. You just come and experience.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I had an amazing time. Like I hadn't been home. I hadn't seen my dad in like 7 years. So like
Yeah,
for
wow.
us, yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, you
Yeah,
get
and it's
busy
so
with
funny
life. Go ahead.
that the day that I met you on the beach, like we were like it was actually me and my guest. It was with me and my
Mhm.
guest, and he planned on that day we were supposed to go to the Pigeon Point Beach, and we were just like, nah, I think there's a beach back this way because he wanted to have like a bar. He wanted to go to a beach where a bar is located. So I was like, oh, I know a spot. So let's not go Pigeon Point. And me and him agreed. So we just head back in your direction. So it was just
Yeah.
like, uh,
It's the universe, brother. Whenever you put something out in the universe
yeah,
responds in kind,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it gives you back what you need. You know, a hundred
I know,
percent.
right? It's amazing. It's amazing. It's still surreal, but it's just amazing, man. Yeah, man.
Definitely, definitely. Anything else that we need to add in, or we need to tell them about at the island, or just the Airbnb experience? Do you think, in terms of like foreign investors that want to come in and want to add to the island, what do you think that we're missing that other people can add from the diaspora and anything like that can bring to the island?
Well, for right now, I can honestly say, ooh, wow, wow, wow. There's a lot. There's a lot. There's a lot to be honest. I mean, there's opportunity for everything. So to come and if you want to start some business, some source of business within the like the tourism field, yeah,
Mhm.
it would definitely be a bang.
Yeah. Okay, so like this is important. What do you think is the best time to visit Antigua?
The best times, I mean, all year round, but the best time for like weather wise and so this place is not too hot, not too humid would be around this time of the year. Let's say from mid October,
Hmm.
end of September, yeah. Let's say from the end of September to around so we have September, October, November, December, January, February, March. To around March is like the perfect time to like perfect weather. After that it's get a bit hot, but not too
Yeah.
hot. We have the water to cool you off.
100%. And that's one of the things that I love about the
Yeah,
Caribbean. You got that cool breeze that comes off the ocean because it's a different type of heat than
cool. I know,
in New
right?
York.
Yeah,
New
yeah,
York
yeah,
heat, New York heat is different.
yeah. It's different. My New York heat is like, pow, pow, pow. Like,
Oh
oh my
man, it
god,
slaps you in the
too much.
face.
It's
Yeah, but
too much.
when you on the islands, you have that cool breeze that's coming off the ocean. That's totally different. That's totally tranquil, man.
Yeah,
I
it's so
appreciate it
soothing.
so much. And then I think it's the sense of nostalgia of being back home. When you first step off of the airplane, you smell that salt water. There's no other feelings,
Smells
man.
so good,
It's
right?
just so
I know, right?
relaxing.
Coming to the Caribbean, you smell that salt water. But going up in the States, you get hit with that cold wind, that boom.
Yeah, I came back home to the cold and mess and rain and everything like that.
Yeah,
I'm like, look, I'm booking the plane right back home, man. No, I totally agree. I totally
that's
agree.
all right. That's all right. But
Oh
yeah, man, that's
man,
what
yeah,
it is.
it was a great trip. I have a lot of footage from back home and everything like that, and my trip in the hotel and everything like that. It was a good stay, but with Shaquille, you guys got to check out his Airbnb and everything like that. He's an amazing host, and the fact that he spent time with his guests, and I met him
Cool.
hanging with one of his guests. That just shows how dedicated he is to
Yeah,
providing a
man.
great
Yeah, man.
service.
Yeah, man. You're
Definitely,
not
definitely.
just coming into Antigua. You're coming to my home. So you're not just a guest to me. I don't really see it as you being my guest. It's you're here. You're a family now. So let me take care of you. Let me make sure you're good. And yeah, let me make you experience Antigua. You know,
A
give you that
hundred
vibe
percent. Yes, sir.
for sure.
But just one more thing, like when I grew up, and I left when I was 10, it was not as diverse of an island as it is now, and there's so many different cultures that are coming in from all over the Caribbean. How has that affected the island? Is it uh, the positives and the negatives? Because there's always positive and negatives with everything, correct?
Yeah, of course, of course, of course. Well, to ah, man, the thing when you have visitors coming in, it's pretty interesting. You have the positive that you get to meet more people, get to be open to more cultures and stuff, but you do have the downside to it. Just like every other thing. I wouldn't say it's like crime infected or not, but you do have your negatives.
Okay, no worries, no worries. And it's a beautiful, and I think one is the safest place for anybody to visit as well, right? Is
Yeah,
there
of
anything?
course.
Yes, sir. Is there anything that you want to add, and we'll wrap this up, and and we'll also your Instagram and everything like that, and just your I'm guessing like how they can connect to your place in Antigua and everything like that. Can we shout that out real quick?
Yeah, for sure. You can reach me out. So I have my Airbnb page. It's Keels Antigua Home.
Mm-hmm.
Superhost. You just hit me up if you once you see any dates that you want or anything, you just hit me up. We can inquire. You can reach me at Keels Antigua Home and you on IG. And yeah, that's pretty much of my contacts. You have my Airbnb page and you have my IG page.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And we're going to have all this stuff posted on your IG as well. Brother, it was such a pleasure talking to you. It was such a pleasure having an amazing chat with you and your host that day, man. I think this is a blessing. And thank you so much
Yeah,
for taking the
man.
time out to
Yeah,
talk to
man.
me
This is
and my
like my
audience.
first ever interview and stuff. Like this is like wow. So improvements there to be made, but it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure just to be here talking to you and everything, man.
No, it was
I
amazing,
I'm,
brother.
I'm
It was
thankful for it.
amazing. Yeah, keep up the good work, and then we're gonna see you go from one being one Airbnb, making even more wealth, and then moving on, maybe doing a couple of others as well, brother. We look forward
Of
to it. Okay.
course, regional, international. Of course, of course. That's the ambition. You just have to have it.
Awesome, awesome. It's awesome, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. It's Natasha Watkins, your favorite realtor. We'll see you guys again on the next one. Peace.